but I do got my Red Bull, and we're getting it.
I said, don't film me.
As you guys can see, I got some battle wounds over here, battle wounds up here.
Get that camera up. You're so tough, right? You got a camera.
If you try to snatch the camera out of his hand, I'll break your neck, bro. It ain't nothing yours to do to me, bro.
Welcome to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato. This is Albert Falter, known as the Annapolis Auditor. I'm going to let Albert tell you why he's at Walgreens.
Grandmom's been sick for about a month now. She became jaundiced a few weeks ago and asked me if I could run to Walgreens and grab her a female product.
So Albert went to help his grandmother. Good guy.
I couldn't find the exact one and was looking for someone to help me. There was no female employees and she was the only female in the store. That is why I asked this woman for help. As soon as we found out through having a nice conversation that she worked at the detention center and that I was the guy that was just out there filming, she caught a huge attitude. Was like, I'm not helping you.
There's a good reason why Officer Mitchell doesn't want to help Albert with his grandmother's feminine hygiene problem.
This is Officer Mitchell, who works at the detention center. In the middle of helping somebody, just refuses it and walked away because she found out who I was. Huh, imagine that. You can't be a decent human being because your employees assault people. Imagine that.
Albert had recently been over to the detention center harassing people. Albert's got a reputation of not being a nice auditor who simply audits, but he's a real insulter. He's a baiter. He's an inciter. He's all of those things, as you'll see.
I mean, that's crazy. I asked her for some personal help and she was helping me. As soon as I introduced myself, asked her about her uniform and where she worked at. I kept it cool and actually introduced myself. She just walked away and refused to help me then answer a question after that. Sad, at every possible opportunity to be a decent human being, they fail miserably at every possible opportunity to be a decent human being.
It's really mutual respect. If you show up and give anybody you're dealing with the respect that they deserve, you're going to get it back.
Ridgefield Police told us they conduct internal training on First Amendment rights.
So Albert follows the corrections officer out of Walgreens into the parking lot as she tries to get to her car. And there's one shot of Albert flicking the camera down where you can see how close he is to the corrections officer.
Well, he's now following me out of the Walgreens right now with his camera in front of my face, the one that he says Sims assaulted him out front of the detention center. And he's in my face right now recording me.
I'm this far from her?
I mean, should I get in my car? He's literally right behind me.
You know, Albert may not know it, but according to Annapolis, Maryland laws, he's now stalking Officer Mitchell. It's his malicious conduct that includes approaching or pursuing a person with the intent to cause fear. Albert is following this woman through the parking lot while he's in a rant on how she's a bad person and she done him wrong. This meets the definition of stalking. And the other thing to understand, this is a corrections officer. She does not have arrest power. You know, auditors whine all the time about soliciting trespass. I'm guessing it's discussed in about 20% of all auditing videos, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Now we're going to solicit a trespass. I can't imagine why she would ask him to call the police. I can't imagine what I did wrong for you to want them to call the police on me. But now we'll stay up here, figure out why you think you can just call the police on somebody.
Thank you.
Huh, you guys would think I was an asshole. Imagine.
Let's remember a few things. Albert approaches a woman about his grandmother's personal hygiene item or whatever. The woman finds out that he had been the one up at the correctional facility harassing. She just refused to help him. Walgreens is a private place. She has no duty to give advice. She's a private citizen shopping. She has no duty to give advice to Albert.
I asked the lady. She came back here to help me.
The
One of her, no, the cop in the uniform. She works at the detention center. She was all cool to help me. Everything was fine. One of her employees assaulted me earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation with her. I found out she worked there, and I said, oh, you know, I appreciate you helping me because I'm sure you recognize me. No, I don't recognize. I see a lot of people. I said, okay, well, you know, I'm the young man who was da-da-da, so I appreciate you. Oh, no, I'm not helping you now.
So Albert gets into a fight with the corrections officer's friend at the correction center. And Albert's wondering why she ignored him.
And just ran off. It's like, dog, we're already sitting right here. I'm trying to be a normal person and have a conversation. Again, I said, I appreciate you helping me despite what happened. No, I can't help you. I'm not following her. I came in here to do my own shit.
Albert just said he wasn't following her. He's very delusional. Now, I think Albert's all innocent. The city of Annapolis had to redo their security protocols in large part due to Albert. He's mentioned in their report, and it says that new protocols were in response to several incidents involving Albert Falter. The city official went on to say that Albert argues with officers and files grievances against police officers and then posts them all on YouTube. Way to go, Albert.
Oh, so here we go. Now we got an officer walking in, so we'll go ahead and deal with this. He already knows what he got himself into. How you doing, brother? This is Officer Richardson 2440.
Doing that today, huh?
Yes, sir.
Afternoon. How are you?
Tyranny and oppression never stops. You're not allowed to ask that question, sir. That's soliciting a trespass.
Okay, well, she doesn't want you anymore, so you're
they
gonna
need.
trespass.
Okay, I understand that. Well, first off, she needs to ask me to leave, and then I need to be given a chance to leave before I'm trespassed. That's fine, and I will leave without any hesitation. But you are not allowed to ask her if she wants me to leave because that's soliciting a trespass. So we'll go outside, and now we'll call your supervisor up here and deal with this because that is soliciting a trespass, sir. My side of the story before coming up here and trying to trespass me from an establishment that you have no jurisdiction over, sir. This is a private establishment. You don't get to go over there and ask them if they want me to leave, sir.
Wrong again, Albert. This is a private establishment, but Walgreens doesn't have a police force. So if you go into Walgreens with a gun and shoot the customer service rep and the police wait outside, I mean, you just don't make any sense. Of course, police officers have jurisdiction. If a crime is being committed at McDonald's or Walgreens, the police officers in that jurisdiction have the right to go and take care of the crime. Who else is going to do it, Albert? Who else is going to do it?
This is a private establishment. You don't get to go over there and ask them if they want me to leave, sir. They have to ask me to leave.
And she did.
Yeah. After you what? Solicited the trespass, Richardson 2440. After you asked her, did you want him to leave?
Have a good evening.
Yeah, call your supervisor up here, sir.
So this wraps up today's video. Albert's wrong tally is, number one, police officers do have jurisdiction in private businesses. Number two, a police officer called to the scene of a crime cannot solicit a trespass simply by asking the person in charge of the store, do you want them gone? And three, someone closely following in the footsteps of another person while jawing insults at them could be stalking. The John Ligato Show is being broadcast from outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. If you like the show, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, and we don't ask for personal information. Semper Fidelis.